What is up, everybody? It's Talking Ball. We're back. It's Call here with Jose, the best co-host in the whole world, Jose. And it is nice to see everyone. It's been a long time since we've done this. I guess it's only been about 2 weeks, right? But it feels like longer. So really glad to see everybody. Big up to everybody tuning in. Yeah, it's Talking Ball. We're back to talk some ball, and football is finally back. And I know that Jose, you couldn't be more happy, right?
No, I mean, yeah, in the background where I'm going to chat with you about it. I really couldn't give a toss about anything other than yeah, I'm happy that football's back. That the Premiership is back, should I say? I'm happy that it's back, and that
Yeah.
we can now talk about football things rather than all the crap we've had to talk about up until now. So
Exactly. And that's part of why we took our little break. Everybody, you might notice that both Jose and I, we haven't been here for like 2 weeks. That does international break does kind of explain part of that. There's less to talk about. You're kind of rehashing the same news that everybody else is rehashing. And then also, I'm in the process of purchasing a house, and that takes like all your free time. It's super stressful. Didn't have any idea how stressful it was going to be, but everything's going great. So today I'm at my mom's house, and good to see everybody here. Happy late Thanksgiving if you're one of the people that celebrate that holiday. Happy Thanksgiving to you, and yeah, hope everybody's well. Happy Friday to everybody. Um, Dang, we already got some people in the chat. We've got Adrian Sroka, big up. Or wait, he said good afternoon all. Good thing I can't read. Sorry. And then send me the link, mate. We'll get you that in just a bit. We're doing that. Then we got Daniel E in the house. Big up back, Daniel. Good to see you, man. Like I said to everyone, it's been a long time. Feel like I'm going to be a little rusty, but we got this. Really, really good to be back. But yeah, so Jose, I know that you're not a big international football fan. Did you catch any matches over the international break?
none. For the first time in my life, none whatsoever. I used to
Wow.
like international football when I thought it meant something many years ago, but with the amount of money that's coming to the game now, not only at club level but internationally as well. I mean, often in the conversation you and I had on the phone call earlier, I was saying to you about how if I look towards Christmas, even the Christmas that I used to look forward to, when you had Boxing Day fixtures in between and then New Year's Day, that's all been taken away now as well, because you've got games in between. There's games every day because for money reasons and for all these people that these new platforms are showing football as well now. Everyone wants a big piece of the pie, and therefore it's all being split and shared that way. So back in the day when football was not what it is now, when you had international breaks and you could only see it, like if I'm going to talk here about England, you could only ever see it on BBC. Yeah. Before it went to ITV, some of the live games you could only see it on BBC. On terrestrial television, you could only see it on one or two channels. Then when you get Sky come in, and Sky took some of the internationals, and then you saw them on Sky. But now everybody seems to do it, and it's another subscription for another subscription for another subscription for another subscription, and you end up with like 50 different subscriptions just trying to watch some football, unless you do the streaming or you get yourselves the dongles and stuff like that. So therefore, and then with the international football as well, talk to me about World Cups. I understand the World Cup. Talk to me about European Championships. I understand the European Championships, and that's for me over here. Obviously, you've got the South American Championships, you've got AFCON, you've got the Asian Championships, you've got stuff like that. So they mean something to someone. But now, here in Europe, they've now brought in the Nations League. So the Nations League is now in between as well. So it's something else that brings more money, that brings another load of TV providers in. And so therefore, it's become such a wish-wash that you just get bored of it. So therefore now I'm at the stage where I don't really give a shit. But before I did, and I used to watch it. Now I just don't bother. So I have caught none of the football, like I discussed with you earlier on the phone. I've caught none of the football whatsoever. For me as well, real life is I've been really busy with work. I will continue to be busy with work. It's that time of the year. And therefore, I haven't had much time to either come stream myself with you or go on to other people's and make comments and stuff like that. I've not been able to do nothing for the last 2 weeks because I've been inundated and busy. And as I stated to you in a phone call a couple of days ago, the only reason why I've come today, and I will be honest, I haven't missed it, but the only reason why I've come on today is because we do predictions, and because we do the predictions,
Prediction League Day.
it was okay. We've got to come on Friday, regardless of what happens. We got to come on Friday, so hence why I am here today. Who knows? Might get the bug after today again.
Exactly. I've already got it back. As I was setting everything up, I was like, I'm excited. Like,
But you were messaging me telling me you're excited as well.
Yep. I really am. It's nice. It's nice to be back. Nice to see the faces, familiar faces. Nice to talk to people. Speaking of familiar faces, we got Leo. I assume it's Leo. Mile High Hotspur saying big up, homies. It has to be Leo. Big up, Leo. Hope you're good, man. Yeah, and then Dan E is kind of hitting the same note you are there, saying only watches international tournament football.
Yeah, I can see now.
Yeah, and totally get it. The one kind of interesting thing, well, not the one, but I saw some clips. I wonder if everybody else saw this too, from the South Korea China match, where there was a Chinese fan and he had a a Tottenham kid on, and literally like the fans were like trying to beat him up, and I don't know, that was pretty entertaining. I liked his bravery and not caring about making everyone else mad, and by that point, the time that he put the jersey on, it was very obvious that China were going to lose. So yeah, and that was pretty funny. Yes, Dan saw it. Yeah, it was good. It was good stuff. And that guy's Foley Coys. He can be on the team. He can be part of it. Heck, I wish he would come and watch this. But no. So that was one cool thing that happened during international football, or at least interesting to me. And then, like we talked about earlier too, Lo Celso got some game. Not Lo Celso. Well, Lo Celso did, but Bentancur is the one that I was more excited about. Got some game time. And that's a pretty big deal for a very depleted Spurs squad. Bentancur is going to be a heck of a player to have back, just because of the fact that he covers multiple positions. He can do a bit of everything, and so yeah, having him back is going to be wonderful. You said that you watched the press conference today. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did.
I started it 3 different times, but I was doing things and I kept walking away. So. Did Postecoglou mention anything about Ashley Phillips?
Yeah, he's got an injury. He's out for a month. He got an ankle injury or something with England, and he'll be out for either, he said 4. His words were either 4 weeks or a month. I'm sure he said a month is what he said.
Yeah. See, it's when it rains it pours, I guess, here at Spurs. But yeah, I mean, he wasn't getting game time anyway, let's be honest. So it's probably not that big of a loss. But yeah, you were talking about international football. I'll kind of track back. You were talking about international football, how oversaturated it's all gotten. It's also just more opportunities for players to get injured. I'm surprised that club football they don't push back harder or something against this. But again, money talks, and everybody wants more. So. But yeah, international football, man, it just seems like a waste of time and then risk to people's careers, with silly injuries. We got Mia in the house. What is up, Mia? Good, very, very good to see you. She says, welcome back. Yeah, thanks for having us. It's really, we appreciate you being here. And then back to Bentancur. Daniel E says, Bentancur has to start. I'm not hearing that people are worried about rushing him back. I've just seen him play 2 intense games for his country, and he was really good. Totally. Yeah, we totally agree. That's another thing. Jose and I talked a little bit before the show, but was mentioning, that he got basically 90 minutes the other day. He got 20 minutes or so in the match before, and these are those international matches, those South American teams are like pretty hardcore. And so if he was able to play, like you were saying, an intense match, for basically 90 minutes, I think he's good to start as well. And like you said, he has to. With Madison out, I know that we've got Lo Celso who will probably step into that 10 role, but it's like, I don't know. I don't want to say that I don't trust him exactly, but I don't trust him. Is you know what I mean? I don't know if he's going to perform. So the one good thing is that while Bentancur does kind of provide some, like, he kind of solidifies that, and helps to defend. He is pretty good going forward, and he can drive the ball forward. He can break lines, and I think with both with all the suspensions and injuries we have, he's just definitely going to have to start, like Daniel says. Totally 100% agree, Daniel. Ronnie says, what's up, Ronnie? By the way, good to see you, dude. Ronnie says, we have no choice. Lolo has to start now that Sarr's out. Wait, maybe I'm reading that wrong. Has to start now and then keep Sarr out. So, Ronnie, if you had it your way, and I just want to make sure I have this right, you would it would be Lolo, and then we would have Højbjerg, and then we would have Lo Celso. Is that who you're thinking? Let me know, because I don't know if Højbjerg should start. But that is another. Jose agrees. Yeah, I mean, he seems to have a tendency to revert, like you were saying, back to that Conte style of safe ball playing, square passes back, and not the Postecoglou way, not the football that we're used to seeing and got used to seeing and we're blessed with. So so Daniel's asking the same question as me. Is Sarr out as well? I hadn't heard anything. I saw that he scored a goal for on international duty, and then, but you said yourself, Jose, that he didn't play. He was an unused sub the next match.
I don't think he played the second game, Sarr, but Postecoglou did say today that he's come back with a slight knock. And
okay.
He didn't train. He didn't train either yesterday or he didn't train today, and he was going to be assessed.
Yuck! I don't like this. This is bad. What is this happening to us? And like a topic we've covered a bunch of times is our physio team good? I mean, like, do we have a deficiency with the physio team? I mean, I know they're getting injured on international duty and everything, but it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like other squads are having this problem where they're losing literally like their entire starting 11. But maybe I'm.
Newcastle United have got 11. Right? Sorry, when we had 9, they had 11, and I think they had one. You got Tonali, who's out with a long-term suspension. They had Guimaraes, who had a one-game suspension, and I think the other 9 were injuries at the time. This is our last match day. So they had 11 people out through injury or suspensions, and we had 9.
Did they pick up points during that time? See, I don't pay enough attention.
No, I'm talking about the last game. No, it's only one game. No, they got beaten.
Okay.
I think they were beaten. I've got the correct prediction. I think it was 2-0 to Bournemouth.
You're right. 100%. 100%. Yep. Well, hopefully, I don't know. I'm afraid of this Villa match. I'll just put it out there. It's definitely got me a little worried. Like you were saying too. They've got 2 great attacking players. I mean, they've got more than 2 great players, but in Watkins and what's the other fellow's name? Why can't I remember?
Diaby.
Yes, Diaby. Pace. They've got pace. They're definitely a threat to us. They're a good attacking side, playing good football. So it'll definitely be a test. What do you think about that? Like, if I know we're going to get into full predictions here in just a moment, but do you have any? I don't know. What are you worried about Sunday? Do you feel at all confident about it?
Am I gonna have to give my honest answer?
Yeah, dude. Yes.
Okay, right. We're not monetized, so I can say it at the moment, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So to me, like I'm gonna repeat. So I can't lie. I've got to be true to myself. So the conversation I had with you on the phone earlier before we set the show up, I'm just so fucking glad that football's back. Win, lose or draw, I'm gonna keep the same words that I said to you on the phone. Win, lose or draw, I'm just fucking glad that football's back. We haven't got this international mockery that's going on at the moment. Yeah, as I said, I'm just glad football's back and that we can have life back to normal. Our football life's back to normal. And yeah, win, lose or draw. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just going to be the whole of this season was going to be always going to be a test, and it's a test that we're changing from what we've been for the last 4 years, and we're trying to change going forward. So therefore, this Sunday will be another test. Every single game this season is going to be a test. Whether some of us think it's going to be an easy game, hard game, whoever we play. Some people say, yeah, it's easy. Some people say it's hard. Some people say it's middle of the road. I think all we want to see is that we take on more and more of the ideas. We start seeing the patterns of play formulating and the ideas that Postecoglou wants being put across by the team on a pitch. That's what we want to see. And we want to see that week in, week out. The thing I was disappointed with the last game was that I felt, and I don't know whether it's why it felt like that, but it felt that we went back to Conte ball and we started playing the Conte system. We played within ourselves, and we were scared to come out, and we were scared to attack, and we were scared to do a lot of things. Like I said in the last stream when I was pissed off, apart from the first 3 minutes, we played Ange ball 3 minutes, and then after that we played Conte ball. So I'm not worried about this weekend at all. I'm just glad that football's back. We're not talking about, if we're talking about the game, then I can talk about the game. But initially, to me, it's just thank God we got football back.
Absolutely, 100%. I see some more people jumping in and viewing, and so I just wanted to say hello to you guys if you haven't already gotten a big hello from us.
To Mia. Mia's going on Sunday, so Mia, I wish you a safe journey there to the game and that. Mia managed to get tickets and that, which is brilliant.
That's
Mia,
awesome.
I wish you a safe journey to the game. I hope you have a really pucker day at the ground and that, and see everyone. Meet a lot of people from the community that would like to meet you. And then also, I wish you a safe journey back home, darling. Yeah, so I hope something goes really well for you.
100%. I had no idea you're going. That's awesome, Mia. Congrats. That's going to be great. She's also saying that she knows he's injured, but we need the Madison song. She's missed it. Got to give the people what they want. So here we go.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.
Yeah, someone get that guy a record deal, whoever he is. That's a great singer right there. But yeah, so another thing I wanted to add too, Mia, thank you for asking for that. I love playing it. But as my co-host here points out in his message, if you're watching this, it's a dual stream. So that means we're streaming on both the Talkin' Ball channel and El Tel Cockerel, Jose's channel as well. So if you're whichever one you're watching on, if you don't mind, just flipping over to the other one for a second, hitting the like, hitting the subscribe if you haven't. It helps everything. It helps the algorithm and all that junk. So just want to reach more people and have more of you guys in the chat. Have this be more of a bigger thing, more people hanging out. So definitely yeah, just please help support both channels if you could. We would really appreciate that. And again, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, whether you're watching back on a recording, you're watching live right now, and whichever it is. Thank you so much for being here. We truly appreciate it. We have a lot of comments that I have got to get through. So there was a lot about Sarr being injured. So I'm kind of going to skip over those a little bit because we've already decided that, he's injured. I asked Ronnie what his midfield would be because he said that he wanted, so basically he says, Bentancur, Højbjerg, and Lo Celso. Yeah, I mean, that's probably going to be what we have to do with Sarr's injured. I didn't know about the Sarr injury prior to the show starting. And then real quick here. Oh, hold on. Somebody's here. I don't have my phone. I don't have the props. I'm not home. But guys, Adrian Soroka is joining us. And let me make sure I get this correct. Adrian, what is up, buddy? Long time no see. And you got the robe on. This is perfect.
Mm-hmm. No, this is the navy blue Spurs robe. It hasn't got a copy.
Ooh.
The other one's being washed.
There you go. Good. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's really good to see you, my friend. How are you doing?
It's good to see you. It seems like it's been too long. Glad this
I know.
We're all glad the international break's over and want to get back to the stadium on Sunday. It's good that Mia's going. Why don't you get her on? Get her on. Get Mia on and Dan or whatever. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we
definitely.
definitely.
Message me if you want to come on. Message me and I'll get you on.
Yeah,
come on, Mia. Come on. Especially if we go out the game. I'm going. I mean, like you'll probably have to meet up with a load of people.
Definitely. Oh my gosh. So we've got lots of comments. So like I was saying to get through. So Mia was telling Dan, that he has a knock. Don't know what yet. So will be looked at. And then I was asking if our medical team was bad, and Mia said she doesn't think it's the medical team. That's a bit of a stretch. Yeah, it just seems like, I guess I'm going more by seasons past, whenever they would give us like a return date for a player, and then it would be like 3 months longer than what they anticipated. But yeah, I know what you're saying. And then Newcastle have very suspicious back injuries. I'm not sure what I'm probably missing a joke there, maybe. But Adrian. Sorry. Yes. What was that? No, what were you gonna say?
I think that was a fornication joke.
Yeah, I think you're right. And then Adrian, you're here now, but you said if you love Spurs and hate Arsenal, subscribe to both channels and smash the like buttons. You're a true friend. Appreciate you, buddy. And then Ronnie saying team versus Villa will have to be Vicario, Porro, Dyer, Davies, Destiny, Højbjerg, Bentancur, Lo Celso, Kulu, Son, Johnson. Almost has to be. You're right. We were thinking about it before the match as well. We'll get to that in just a second. Daniel E says it's like the football gods. We're saying things are going well for Tottenham. We better change that seriously. I can't believe our players are dropping down like flies at the moment. Yeah, 100%. It does seem like that. It does. Yes, and Adrian, you better be urgent. I see your comment here that we're, the crowd's going to be that 12th man. We're gonna get the team going. We're gonna lift them to victory. You better do your part. I'm trusting you, sir. And Ronnie says, not a bad side when you see who's out. I have a feeling Tottenham 3, Villa 2, 3 for Son, 2 for Watkins. Nice. That would be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty sweet back and forth kind of clash of the Titans there. That sounds fun. Alexander Hilton is in the house. What is up, Alex? He says steak, as always. What else? And then, Sar does have a knock, didn't train today. And then Daniel E saying, but Ronnie, who sets up that hat trick for Son? Because where's the creativity to even think we can supply Sonny enough for him to get a hat trick? Bit of a pipe dream. Well, I did. Lo Celso did play pretty well for Argentina. So that's something. That's there's.
Let's go back to this part here. We'll go back to this. Remember this. I'm going to star it. So I'm going to go back to that. Sorry, carry on.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Mia, just being super awesome, saying thanks to you, Jose, for all your well wishes. Daniel says, if we win, then we know who is our good luck charm. Exactly. It'll be Mia for sure. 100%. Boom. Boom. Thanks, guys, to the lovely Nick and Phil P. Oh, is that how? Okay. Yeah. Nice.
That's
and James Madison is what we need.
Yeah, I think that comment come up when you put the music on. So.
Højbjerg, Bentancur, Donnelly. Interesting. That's an interesting thought there. Do you guys think that's a possibility?
No, I think Skip starts Sunday.
Ahead of Pierre?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. It's just there's a bit of alluding to it, because in a few of the feeds I go to and post in my group, there was a few mentions in different different feeds of, Skip's been bombing it in training, Skip's been doing this, Skip's been doing that. And it just looks like he might get his first start. So
be sweet.
Instead of Sarr, if Sarr's got the slight knock, doesn't mean to say Sarr won't come on. But look, let's not risk players if they've got knocks. If they're out, look, and people worry about our lack of creativity. But be fair, we played for how many seasons without a creative midfielder?
That's true.
Games after Eriksen left. I mean, Bentancur will start because he played virtually the full game for his national side. Hi, Mia.
Hi, Mia.
Yeah, and Bentancur will start. And the hint in the feeds is about Skip. Obviously, Højbjerg, even all the hype over Højbjerg, all right, the whole midfield was piss poor against Wolves, wasn't it? But it's only one game. You know, Højbjerg does have good games, you know, so Højbjerg may start. But other than that, I think Bentancur and Skip have got a good chance of starting that game. You know, we've had all the permutations for other fans and other groups. Will they move Decky in the 10? Will Lo Celso play in the 10? See, this is the good thing with Ange. I mean, he threw his curveballs when he introduced Brennan Johnson away to Arsenal. What a game to introduce a player in, right?
No joke, absolutely.
And he threw a curveball like when we played Liverpool at home, the way Porro played and that, inverted fullback and that. So, you know, I'm guessing if you go defensively, you think he's going to play Højbjerg, Skip, and Bentancur, don't you? You'd think that would be it. If Sarr's not out, or if Sarr's fit, he plays instead of Skip or Højbjerg. But the beauty of it is we don't know, and neither will Villa.
Yeah, absolutely, Nick.
The beauty of it, because the best midfielders are not in it. So, like, it's not really. It's about using what we're given.
Hey, you're a little quiet.
Your volume is quite down, Mia.
Oh, I don't know why.
We can still hear you.
Don't know if that's on my mic.
That's it.
There you go.
Okay, stupid.
Perfect.
No, I just think at the end of the day, I do not want to see Skip and I do not want to see Højbjerg on that pitch because they are just they haven't got enough of what we want. We need Bentancur because Bentancur is very good on the ball. When I went and watched him last year, he's silky on that ball. He can twist on that ball. He gets the ball, just turns, and he can be the one that connects the midfield and the defence because the defence can't come forward like they normally can because they can't do what obviously Romero and Van de Ven can do. So we need someone to connect it. Højbjerg is he just passes back. He hasn't got the swivel. He hasn't got the turn. He hasn't got that je ne sais quoi. You know what I'm saying? Like,
je ne sais quoi. Yeah,
he just hasn't got it. And I don't want to see him. It's a bit like eating a dry cracker. Like, yeah, you eat it if you're hungry, but it'll stick to your mouth and you're like, it's really boring and horrible. Like, you know, I just don't know. Like, for me, I don't want to see Højbjerg in that midfield. I'm hoping that Sarr will be okay because for me, I want Sarr, Bentancur, and Lo Celso. I think that offers you enough creativity in that midfield with Bentancur as well. The legs is Sarr, and then Lo Celso. Although I don't particularly like him, I'm not too sure about him. At least we know he has got a little bit more creativity than if you had Højbjerg in that midfield.
Yeah, oh, you happy with that? Look, I'm going like you are. I'm going to settle forever with playing. I'll be screaming my head off once I'm in the stadium as you. You know, so like, yeah, he hasn't played Lo Celso more as a sort of number 10. I'm not sure Lo Celso really is a number 10. He's a bit more of what I call a more central or attacking midfielder. I mean, like back in the day, you would have a holding midfielder, central midfielder, and attacking midfielder in the team. And I class that central sort of attacking midfielder now is what Porro does as an inverted fullback because he's not a defender, is he? Let's be fair. And he's not an out-and-out winger. He hasn't got the style of what you associate with wingers, you know, that flamboyant, slick, fast movement taking players on, you know, although he's very good at dead balls, corners, you know, he's got a good shot on him and we'll chip him with a few goals. So, you know, it's one of those, you know, you could play Porro in a midfield three. You could, because he's virtually doing that now anyway, but that would mean that Royal would have to go back at right back. then then you've got Udogie at left back, and then we know it's going to be Davis and Dyer in the middle, especially now that Phillips has picked up a knock on international duty.
I don't think that he's going to switch it up too much and play people all out of their positions.
No, he won't.
I just can't see him doing that, Adrian. Now, most I can see him doing is maybe if we get tired legs, is to put Kulu in the middle. That's the only thing I can see happening. You're right, Mia, because the last thing you do when you've got disruption with a lot of injuries, you don't start trying to put square pegs into round holes or changing things. You keep as much of it as the same you can, and then you just do what you have to do or think that's best you do where you've got problem areas. I mean, like, that's all you can do. So no, I agree, he won't. These are always left field conversations are always interesting, though. But no, he won't. I think everyone stays. The front three will be Johnson, Son, and Kulu. And if those three click, there's enough there to smash Villa, So it's funny, isn't it, with Spurs fans, every time we play another team, they're always better than us. I don't think we're going to win. It's all this and all that. I just believe we can beat anyone at that stadium, anyone with that crowd behind us.
Right, sorry, just going to go to this comment and then I'm going to come back to Sunday's game. Right, dry roasted peanuts. When you have a balloon as a kid, which you never really let go and it suddenly drifts off into the sky, that's our squad right now.
That's the worst feeling. I'm actually just thinking about that. And I have a core memory of getting a balloon from McDonald's and it floating away and just.
So it always reminds me of it. No, with the balloons floating in the air.
Yes, I'm glad that wasn't how I'm glad I didn't end up finding escape.
Don't go near the drains, especially if someone's calling you.
Right.
I think your comment, Colin, with regards to medical team, Daniel Lees, in fairness though, was this not the same medical team who let Bentancur continue playing on for about another 5 minutes with a torn ACL? Leo is saying that
if not the same medical team has got Bentancur back quicker.
True, but I don't know. And I mean, and you're right. But and I was gonna say, who knows? Maybe that was Bentancur. Really.
So its injury is going to be the medical team's and the fault. Progress. Then it's not okay. Cool. We're doing that.
No. You make a good point.
You got Mile High Hotspur saying it's snowy here in Denver. So Leo saying it's snowy in Denver, so it's a lazy day around the house. And
sounds fun.
Saying to Mia about.
I'm jealous of the snow. Joe, I'm not keen on winter, but I do love the snow.
If it's going to be cold, there better at least be snow. Is how I feel about it. You know what I mean?
We don't get snow much here because I'm by the beach. So it's not really snow that often.
So we get quite a bit here where I am, but not yet. I still got about a month before we start getting snow here. But Leo, be safe, man. If you have to get out in that snow today, make sure you drive carefully. Be safe. But you live in Colorado. You know all about the snow. You're good there. But yeah.
And then Daniel says that we were playing for the last 4 years counter-attacking football. So don't use this. We had no creator before. We have literally sat back for the last 4 years and caught people on the break. Ronnie's saying no skip because I'm going to go back to the game. No skip. Daniel Lee saying the only creator was Kane. You've got a big up from Jacob.
What up, Jacob? Big up, dude.
And then you've got Daniel. I don't care if people like Lo Celso or not. I want us to play a creative midfielder. Mia, back to you. Sorry. I was going to say to Daniel,
he's spot on. The only one that we had that was creative was obviously Harry Kane. We didn't have a creative midfielder because we had Kane doing both jobs. So that was really that's why we managed to survive and score goals the way we did. Let's be honest, if we're going to be honest about it. And I wasn't somebody who was begging for Kane to stay if he wanted to leave. So I'm pretty fair with I would say. And I haven't followed him since either. I'm not someone who's watching him, keeping an eye on him or nothing like that.
No, yeah, I don't know.
He was.
Look, we know, don't we? I mean, the midfield, we know what the back four is going to be. Unfortunately, it's going to be Dyer and Davis in midfield. You're going to you're going to have Who can you bring in? So? Well, you think he's going to put Royal as right centre back instead of I don't like. It's been suggested not going to happen.
I'd like to see
the front three picks itself. So as Mira and say, you can toy with as many fanciful ideas as you like who the midfield three are going to be. I'm not bothered particularly. We've got issues, but I know that Ange, if he picks Lascelles so it doesn't work, or if it's Sar's not fully fit, he has to hook him, or or whether it's Skip or Højbjerg or whatever. Even if I don't think he's going to move Decky in as the number 10, not yet, not until the team's settled, and you can do that then. He will have options on the bench. So if it is Bentancur, Lascelles, and say Sar starts, it don't quite work out. All right, the other players might not be the fans' flavour, but Skip and Højbjerg are an option to bring on. I mean, because that's all he will have to bring on.
Yeah, and they're Premier League quality footballers. I mean, like, they're not absolutely.
Well, that's questionable.
He'll be on the bench. Velez will be on the bench. Sorry, go on, Mia. Sorry, I'm going on.
Postecoglou's teams are a 16-man game, so whatever happens, you've got to have 11 players and 5 subs.
Yeah, absolutely. He does make.
I was just commenting to Colin when he said that they're the Premier League level. Yeah. I was a bit, I ain't sure about that one.
So I'm going to go back to the game, Mia, with Mia especially to start off with now. Going back to the game, and I'll bring back Adrian's comment which I started earlier. But Mia, your game of the game, it's your first game this season.
Yep.
Right. One, the most obvious question is, are you looking forward to it?
Yes.
Two, have you made any plans to meet any of the community? And then three, on the third one, I'm going to bring Adrian's comment that he made earlier, which I think is an important comment.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to be going with my brother. Yes, I've made arrangements. I spoke with Ellie to meet up. She said whenever I get there, she'll come and meet me. A few of them will probably meet me. And after, I spoke to Sean, and he said for me to do a fan cam as well.
Yeah,
that's awesome. He'll have to adjust his camera, he said, because I'm so short, which I thought would be insane.
Well, I don't know, Adrian, you do the fan cams with Sean as well after the game.
Yeah, I'm a member of his crew, so
I'll
be seeing him after the game. We were chatting.
So
I'll probably see Mia after the game. She's meeting up with Ellie, because Ellie sometimes meets up with Alex, because we all live right close together. Me, Alex, and Ellie. Actually, it sort of went infield. So
nice.
I always go in the Gilpin before the games for about an hour. Then I'm in the ground about an hour before kickoffs. Usually meet a few people. A few people come up and shake your hand when and they're strangers. You're a bit nervous because you don't know who they are.
I'm glad I'm going with my brother in a way, because I wouldn't want that to happen to me, because I think I'd be a bit freaked out. A woman on my own with these a group of guys all coming over to check them out. I'd be like, oh hello, who are you?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's cool that your brother's going. I mean, family stuff, getting to do stuff with your family members, super important.
It's me and Jack have always gone. So when we went to do the tour of White Hart Lane, we went together. When we went to, we actually went to like one of the ones where we go like and meet all the legends. We did that together. So, and then all the games, I've only been on one. I think I went to one game on my own, which was Man United at Wembley. Was the only game I actually travelled on my own and went on my own. And he was really worried about me. He was like, "Message me, make sure you're okay." I'm like, "I'm okay, I'm fine." But he was
that's a good brother right there, though.
Yeah. So he's got your back. Me. But yeah, it's nice for us to do, because the Tottenham thing is like our thing together, because like no one else. My mum don't like football. My dad don't like football. So it's just me and my brother.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm going to go back to Adrian's comment that I started earlier, because I think this is really important. But I don't think it's just important Sunday. I think this is important every game that we play.
Yeah, definitely. With I mean, especially with the injuries that we have, and with the squad sort of depleted, I think we're really going to need the crowd to lift the team. And Mia, since we were asking you all the questions, do you agree with that? I mean, do you think that? And are you going to be singing and joining in and?
Of course.
The goal is.
I have to, because I'm taking the place of Phil P. We're swapping. I'm subbing out a Greek sub for a Greek sub. So I'm subbing out I'm a super sub. So thanks to Phil P and Nick, who managed to get me the tickets. I can't thank them enough. They've been lovely managing to get them for me. Nick was really trying hard, bless him, to get them. As much as I give him stick, he was really lovely trying to get me those tickets. So,
Nick, like Barry? Nick Barry?
Nick Barry, whatever one you want to call him.
Ranjit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What stand are you in? Where are you sitting?
Oh God, I can't remember where we're sitting at, but it's like we're in the south stand, but it's like in the corner.
Well, My seat is as high up as probably near as high as you can get in the East Stand, but it's virtually right next to the South Stand. So I'm right in that corner. And the stand I'm in, although it's the East Stand, because it's treated like the old shelf side, and they all sing the shelf side, it's the shelf side, the shelf side. And the South Stand, I've never known it since the stadium's open. It's so loud. I mean, even the Chelsea game and that, and other games, it was louder. Well, the loudest I'd previously heard it in that stadium was when we beat Arsenal 3-0, right? But this season, I've never heard it so loud for so many games, and especially even the games that you wouldn't class as big games. It's never been so loud. And the trumpeter and the drummer's there. So the trumpeter starts the crowd off earlier on because he starts playing it when the Spurs goes in and the whole stadium joins in. You know, it's just brilliant. I mean, you're going to love the atmosphere. You'll love it. Like, you'll love your day out. You know, let's hope it's a winning experience, obviously. But
yeah, hopefully so. Yeah, no, it's good. I think it's just nice going there, meeting everybody. You know, I'm going to enjoy just being there as well. So I'm hoping it will be a good game. To be honest,
I'm confident we're going to win, but I mean, like, we'll see. I'm always confident we're at home. That's the thing, though. I'm always confident when we play at home.
Yeah, I predicted the win when I did my preview. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. So I guess if you guys are predicting a win, and you guys both too agree that you think that it's going to be a center back pairing of Dyer and Davis, do you think that we're just going to get completely roasted pace wise by Watkins?
Colin, can I just come back a step about the crowd? Right. So let's go. I'm going back to the crowd again, and the reason why I brought up the crowd, and I said it's important. I've said it before about the crowd, and I think the crowd are important. The reason why I say more important than ever now is because we've had 2 defeats, right? And there is some, I'm not going to say it's the majority, but there is some, if you look at Twitter or if you listen to some of the channels, people that you've got some negativity coming out where people are not backing or saying that Ange lost his way, Ange doesn't know what he's doing and stuff like that. So therefore, to me, it's more important than ever now that we stand behind this manager and behind our team, regardless of who it is that he puts out as a first 11. And I think the crowd will play an important part. I wish that you could also tune in from home to add to the people in the crowd to support your manager. But unfortunately, it's not the case. It's going to be from the people in the ground itself. And I just hope.
We could do a huge WhatsApp call and then get you in the crowd while we're there.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I don't know what you guys, because I've not been around for the last couple of weeks and that, but reading things that I've read and stuff like that, I've not really come on the shows, but some of the snippets that I've seen, the clips that have been sent and stuff like that, it seems that some people are already turning negative about the situation about the last 2 weeks. And this is where I think that we need to back the manager, back the team, but not only now in these games, but every game. And Adrian, you go every match, so you'll be able to tell whether they've been supporting us all the way through, which I believe they have. But I just think it's important.
They will in the stadium. They will in the stadium. I mean, on social media, look, I haven't got an issue with people doing a constructive critique of whether the team plays well, whether the manager picks the right players, they think he picked the right players. It's always easy to be a hindsight critic. I am one. I was critical of the Wolves' performance. I thought we adopted the wrong attitude, got the goal, and then we went into Conte ball as far as I was concerned. So I was critical of some players. Davis actually played pretty well in that game comparison. I'd rather Dyer didn't play and someone played instead of Dyer, instead of the back four I think is going to start. But, you know, that I don't see that happening. Obviously, Dorrington might have to be called up now because we're going to need another centre-back on the bench. So that's another thing. No, listen, I've been hot. Well, Mia knows I've been critical of Porro. He has improved. I don't think he's the solution on the right for us. I think his best position is probably, don't laugh, I think it's in midfield. He virtually plays there. I'm not sure if he would make a winger. There's been lots of suggestions. Technically, he's a very good player, but I want to see what. I'm not going to judge him fully. I'll criticise him if he plays poorly in games and praise him when he plays well, like any player. But because they're new players and it's their first full season, I'll judge him at the end of the season. Same as Andy and same as all the other players. I'm not going to throw any player under the bus. I mean, like, Sessegnon might make a comeback. Under Angie might do well, he might not. If this is make or break season, I understand. Listen, I understand fans' criticism of Sessegnon, of Kulusevski, of players like that. Everyone wants to see more of Kulusevski's, debut season end product, even though he contributes a lot in other ways to team that probably some fans don't see or don't want to see, But it's the same. It's the same with me with all players. I'm going to support every player, even Dyer while he's at the club. When they're gone, thank them for the service. Goodbye. See you later. Right? We move on.
Yeah, he's not demanding. Yeah, exactly. I see no real reason to criticize Dyer. I mean, when he has a bad match, criticize him, of course. But just like as a person and as a member of the squad, he's not asking to. He's getting picked. He's not saying let me play, and he's doing the best he can. I get it. I just would rather not. I think he's just going to get absolutely toasted. I think he's going to get roasted for pace this weekend. Absolutely roasted. But Josh, just real quick, Josh from Speaking Spurs, what's up, my guy? Very good to have you here, dude.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. So first of all, was that a Red Bull I saw you drinking?
No, it was a Monster.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah.
Even better.
I'm currently recovering from the flu, so I'm.
Oh Christ! Well, thanks for being. I'm glad to have you here, man. I'm glad it wasn't anything more serious. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good.
Good deal, man. So we're talking about you see Adrian's comment here about the Spurs crowd will lift the team, urge them on a victory. We're talking a little bit about the match this weekend. What do you feel about it? I mean, just let's get first of all just your first kind of like how are you feeling?
mean, we can sit here and we can criticize the defense all we want, but you don't win games if you don't score goals, and ultimately we're lacking that creativity in the midfield. I think the creativity against Wolves was non-existent. We had that spout of about 10-15 minutes in the first half where we were bombing it down the wing and we got a couple of chances into the box, but ultimately without Maddison, our creativity seems to be null and void at the moment. So I did put the comment in the chat. What about Valise? Like we have Valise sitting on the bench. Have Son play the cam role that we've seen him play before when he was partnered up with Kane, and he did really, really well in that situation, and then play Valise in front of him. Like
I'm sure Jose would be totally down for that because that's a player that Jose's wanted to see more.
Yeah,
of,
I mean we can sit here and argue. Oh, but Ange doesn't think Valise is ready. Yeah, but he exiled Eric Dyer for the all season, and then in the situation he brought him into the squad. At the moment, we're lacking creativity. We're lacking that goal scoring mentality. So bring him in.
I could see it. I don't know if Sonny. Do you think Sonny's very creative? I mean, like I know he's.
It's not about whether he's creative or not. It's about what we've seen from him in the past. We've seen him partner up with Kane from that cam position, and he performed extremely well. What's to say that partnership with Valise wouldn't be on par, if not better?
Yeah, I could almost see him playing like a front two. Yeah, absolutely.
I think Ange's focus. I mean, like me and Mia seem to be on the same page here. I don't think he's going to disrupt that team too much. I think Ange's focus and his concern is going to be that midfield and then two central defenders. And it's a question whether one or two of them sit back to protect them. We know Bentancur will be box to box. So whoever the other two are, one should have the job of just patrolling in front of Davies and Dyer. And you've got an option on Phil, because if they have to take a booking for the team to protect Davies and Dyer, then you've got options on the bench to replace them with, because we'll have a couple of spare defenders, midfielders on there easy enough. That seems to be everyone's concern, Villa's pace, but they should be worried about Sonny's no slouch, and neither's Brennan Johnson.
Oh yeah.
And Joe, what the one thing we have got as a positive is Destiny's back. Now, Destiny can get up and down that wing. He's very strong. He's quick, and he's also quite a bit more of a creator. So I think actually now we've got Destiny back. That's an extra little. That is a little plus to obviously a bit of a negative situation.
Yeah, if him and Parra on point, you haven't got to worry so much about Villa's pace because they'll be pushing them back. So
absolutely. And some creativity coming from them as well. Yeah, absolutely.
For me, the attack's the best form of defence. listen, just keep attacking, so we don't have to worry about our bloody defenders. And like I say, Porro can get back, and he's not okay. He's not the best. I'm not saying he is for one moment, but Destiny is very good defensively, so he can help out quite a lot, I think.
Yeah,
definitely.
Isn't Basuma out this week as well?
Yeah.
So that's another situation we've got going against us. Who did you play in that position? Højbjerg or Sarr?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say Sarr if we can too. Yeah,
you could play Sarr, Bentancur, and Lo Celso as the midfield three. But if you're going to play those three,
I don't think Bentancur gets a full.
Why? He's played already for 2 international games. He played 80 plus minutes.
86 in his last game in Uruguay.
Minutes, like you can't.
And apparently bossed it playing as a 6.
You can't be worrying about that. If he's going to play for international.
Yeah, I'd want Sarr to sit deep as the 6, really sit deep, because he's got a bit more pace. And if bowls come over, he can drop in where Davis and Dyer are, or run behind them to help eliminate any threats. But we'll see what Ange does. I mean, like, he might throw us a right curveball.
I kind of hope so, in a way, just because he'll have seen these players more than us. He'll know exactly what we need for the match. Dry roast peanut. Unfortunately, it will be Dyer and Davies. He thinks. Just imagine them against Holland. LOL. Yeah, that's not something I want to think about right now.
Yeah, me neither.
Leo, though, message from Mia saying he hopes you enjoy the match. Big up, Leo.
Joe, what I will say though, against City, at least we will have Basuma back. So at least Basuma's a bit more. He's another one with legs. We need just a lot of legs and engines.
Wow, I just remembered that Romero's still going to be out in that match, isn't he? Jesus.
He is. And Joe, what, the only match I'm going to so far this season, I don't get to see my man, which
I'm sorry. No, that's no good. That's not good at all. Nope, not at all. Well, guys.
So Daniel saying will never be negative, just realistic. And Dry Roasted Peanuts says stand behind your man. This is when we were talking about the crowd.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And about people starting to be negative with and stuff.
But you know what I find it is, Jose? It's more social media fans, because when you actually go to games, people are very different to what they are on social media. So I think the mix of like people on social media have got a loud voice because there's a lot of people on social media. But when you go to actual games, I think people will get behind the team. I don't think it's as not negative, but it's not.
Yeah, who's going to pay money and procure a ticket and pay the money and then go and then be like a negative douchebag? You know what I mean? Like I don't see. I know there'll be some people that are like that, but
I appreciate everybody's got their opinions and their views. Do you know what I mean? Like I understand that, but I think, like I say, when it comes to going to the actual stadium, I do think that there is a little bit of a difference in the way that people are, like the way they view things when you talk to people at the actual stadium.
Yeah, I believe that 100%. And everybody's really loud online. You can yell as loud as you want about whatever you want, and no one, there's no repercussions. I don't know. I just feel like you're right. The internet fans aren't. It's not really a 1-to-1, with the fans that are actually there. So yeah, I'm really hoping that you're right and that we're right about this. By the way, though, Scott M is in the house. Scott, I haven't seen you in a minute. Hope you are doing well in Canada. Hope it's not too snowy or icy or cold for you today, sir. But yeah, Scott was saying that this could be an ugly one, and he's right. Chris Agambar, big up Colin, Jose, and panel. Big up Chris Agambar, my man. It's been a while since I've seen you too. Hope you're well. And Dry Roast Peanut says he feels like it'll be Bentancur at the 6, Sarr at the 8, and Lo Celso at the 10.
I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, me too.
I'd rather Sarr as the 6, but I'd be happy with that. Look, I'd be happy with that.
And they'll swap. And sorry, Josh, what were you saying?
I just want Valise to get a start.
He will.
Why not? Why not?
He might, look, he'll be on the bench.
He's not ready. Do you want to risk?
Who's to say he's not ready? Who's to say he's not ready?
Like
I just said, Ange exiled Eric Dyer for the whole of the season and then brought him in.
But if he doesn't want to start him, then obviously he isn't ready. Exactly like the youngsters that everybody keeps yelling for. They're obviously not ready. Otherwise, Ange would start them. It's obvious, isn't it?
He has impressed in training, Valise, what I've heard. I watched him play only in one Spurs play game because he wasn't picked in the others, and he missed 2 sitters. But he was such a handful in the air because he's 6'2". He is reminds me of Batistuta and Tony
But the
Haley.
problem is, he's good in the air, Adrian, but that's not. We haven't got
I haven't
players
seen
to
nothing
really
of
give,
him.
but we haven't got them balls to really keep like somebody to put those. That's more of like a Perisic situation.
Porro, I mean Porro.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that the way we like to like the way we're currently playing with Sonny is a different. Yeah, it's a different kind of game. And if he's not ready and he's not being played from game to game, I feel like that he obviously doesn't feel like he's ready. Like I say, the same about the youngsters.
You know when he's going to play, right? He is going to play when, like, the winter breaks from the 14th of January to the 30th, right? The AFCON Cup and Asian Cup overlap them. They start on the 12th of January but finish about the 12th of February. So we might miss 3 players for 12 days because Sarr plays for Mali, Basuma plays for Senegal, and Son plays for Korea. So there's only 3 games they can miss. On the 30th of January, we played Brentford at home. Then we got Everton away, and then we got Brighton at home. Well, we'll only miss any of those players if their teams reach their finals, because it's only that 12-day period. There's a chance of Son's got a chance of reaching the final, and so has Basuma with Senegal, because Senegal are a very good African side. Mali, Sarr, don't see it. Don't see that at all. So, but Maddison will be back then, right? Anyway, before.
And I mean, and Richarlison should be too, right?
Isn't it Sarr that plays for Senegal and Mali is Basuma? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No, you're right. No, I'm wrong. I was wrong.
You're right.
Yeah, well, I got my country. I was geographically challenged there for a minute.
I'm always geographically challenged, so don't even worry about it, my friend. I'm terrible. I'm terrible.
Right, we've got Ellie's here. Hi, people. Not feeling too good. I didn't see this message. I just sent Ellie the link, but obviously I've only just read this just now.
Make sure you recover for Sunday, Ellie.
Yes, Ellie, take good care of yourself. I've been doing the whole not sleeping enough thing, and I'm feeling it too. So take good care of yourself. Jose's got all kinds of cool tricks and tips if you need lemon, half a lime, some honey, boiling water. That literally saved my life last time. So if you feel yourself getting sick, try that.
Yeah, but I didn't give you the alcoholic versions because you don't drink alcohol. So I just keep the alcoholic versions out of it.
Or do you know what the next one is? Try a hammer over the head. That
I usually find that works whenever Tottenham's having like a bad run of games in previous seasons. I would just do that and then wake up and things were usually better. But no,
I'll tell you what the biggest concern. I'll tell you what the biggest concern is for this game against Villa. Right, of every team that we've played so far, well, it's not even every team. Villa have scored the most goals this season. Right, that's a fact. Go and look it up. They have scored the most goals this season. They've scored 29 goals this season. Right, They're going to pepper us. They are going to absolutely pepper our goal. Right.
Good thing we've got Venom in there. You know.
Have we though? Have we?
I just made Vicario. That's what people.
Oh, Vicario. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Villa on the road. Villa on the road though, Josh, have lost 3 away on the road. They've not been brilliant on the road. Looking at their away fixtures.
Yeah, but it's just typical Spurs fashion that a game that we should, on paper, we should win, given the amount of injuries that we've got and given the circumstances surrounding our creativity. Would it not just be sod's law that they come and bag 2 goals and win against us?
Yeah, but Josh, also, Villa might have scored a couple more goals. But if you go and check the stats, you'll find that Spurs have had more shots on target than Villa this season, and Spurs have had more shots on goal than Villa this season. So there's always a counteractive stat that you can bring up. I'm not saying Villa aren't a good side; they can't win the game, but you know we've got.
I don't know
the game as well. I mean,
the Spurs fan inside me says that this is going to be a very, 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 very tough game.
We know it's going to be a tough game, but I think that the counter stats just show that not if you just pull up some stats and not all of them, that it doesn't give a bit of a more of a rounded picture of actually the situation.
True.
So you got who's new saying Villa play 4-4-2-2-2. So the key is going to be width, accurate switches of play, and Sarr's injured.
Who's news? What's up?
Yeah, he's come in saying that I agree Benny to play. Daniel E is saying that he knew that Mir would be more pissed off about not seeing Romero.
Yeah, damn right.
One for Josh from Ellie. Josh is back again. QPR are pants this season, Josh, but at least they have drawn their last two. Hey,
It's because I work at QPR. She's saying that her husband's a diehard QPR fan.
no. Ellie's coming. Big up all the panel in the chat. Much love to you all.
Much love to you, Ellie.
Josh, who's better talker, and your MJF?
He's referring to the top I've got on AEW. It's a wrestling company. MJF is one of their wrestlers. He talks a lot of shit. MJF 100%.
All right.
There you go. There you go.
Who's News has come back in with saying Vinicius is also good on the deck. Who's News? I totally agree with you. He is good on the deck. And he frightens people because he's got pace. He can run as well.
I think that I think everyone has kind of painted a picture of him that may or may not, it might not be completely accurate, that he's like some height merchant that only can, score headed goals. I think there's a lot more to his game than that also.
Daniel Lee says exactly, if they are ready, why they're not playing. And Daniel Lee says again, in fairness, to me, Jose, 2 of the way defeats are against Liverpool and Newcastle, but they were also beaten at Forest. And they drew away at Wolves 1-1 when Wolves had 10 men. So there are more results than just these two on the road for Villa.
It's saying that Newcastle haven't been great so far either. They've just lost at Bournemouth. They're riddled with injuries themselves at the moment.
Yeah, they had last game week, injuries and suspensions. They had 11 and we had 9.
11. That's crazy.
And Joe, can I just say to big up to Adrian, because he got my joke straight away when I said about them having problems with their back. Look, it's a bit sus. Straight away, he knew me well enough to know exactly what I meant.
I assumed, but I didn't want to be wrong. But yeah, Adrian.
We don't want to steal me this thunder. Adrian does.
Exactly.
Guys, can I just want to talk about something which is like stuck in my craw recently. And if I may, it might take me a few minutes, yeah? And it's about Matt Lawton's article in the Times about Spurs possibly facing a sanction, right?
Oh, for the Jermaine Defoe Portsmouth deal?
Yeah, in 2008. Now, I want to clear a few things up here. Arsenal were fined £60,000 for their deal with Callum Chambers for a similar thing, for not using the correct procedures, and someone who's not a proper qualified agent was involved, and that's all they got, right? Now, the reason I counteracted this with what happened with Spurs back in 1994-95, when Sugar was our chairman and the club's books were audited, he actually reported to the football authorities that Spurs had made 3 payments to Spurs players during the early 80s, this was. And we know they were bribes and inducements. They were just like sweeteners to them. Like one was Clive Allen. I think one was Mitchell Thomas, who got mentioned in this recent thing. He was a player then, and another player, I'm not sure it was. Now, Spurs didn't break any criminal law here because those loans were actually reported in the club's financial report. But when it went to the FA and that, they gave Spurs a 12-point penalty, kicked them out of the FA Cup, and fined us £600,000, right? Now, fair play to Alan Sugar. He was having none of this, right? Took him to court, right? Said this is wrong, what you've done, blah, blah, blah. So obviously they went through the rules and everything like that. So what happened was the 12-point deduction was dismissed. Spurs were reinstated in the FA Cup, but the fine was increased from 600,000 to 1.5 million.
What? That's bizarre.
Yeah. Now, 1.5 million back then from that in 1994, when you consider Defoe went for 7.5 million or 8.5 million in 2008, was a lot of money. Yeah. So that was done, right? But the thing that stuck in my craw of this whole situation was in 1992, Arsenal bought Jon Jensen from Brøndby. Now, Arsenal recorded the transfer as 1.1 million. Right, Brøndby received 900,000. The agent, Rune Halls, who's been banned as an agent now, deposited a 6-figure sum into George Graham's account. Get this, the account was in the Channel Islands. Read into that what you want. George Graham was investigated by the Tax Inland Revenue for £425,000 of undeclared income, right? Read into that. Now, the 6-figure sum rumoured to have been given him by Rune Hall I see one figure, it was 285,000. I don't think it might not have been that, but it was a 6-figure fund. But that would still leave £140,000 unaccounted for. Now, that could also have been, as what George Graham called, unsolicited gifts at the time, right? So that wasn't investigated, right? The FA did nothing.
Because David Dean was on the
Because David Dean was vice chairman of Arsenal and he was vice chairman of the FA at the time this happened, right? It got swept right under the carpet. If there's going to be any investigations with Spurs, I want this case reopened because it stinks. It still stinks from the day, like, oh, Arsenal, we knew nothing about it. Yeah, pull the other one. Us fans, especially when Arsenal fans that weren't in the know, some of them didn't even know about the Callum Chambers deal, We know football needs its act cleaned up. And if it's AP, my opinion on this, if we do have a brief discussion on this, my opinion on this is if you're going to punish a team for financial fair play over transfers, then part of the punishment should be over transfers, because rich clubs, if they get points deducted or they get relegated, they can buy their way back up, can't they? So any punishment dished out to Chelsea who've admitted their guilt and Man City who are going to be found guilty, don't worry about it. Don't want to say it subjudicely, but I mean, like, it is what I'm saying, but they will be found guilty, right? So, and especially through Chelsea, when you hear the other rumours coming through that money was paid through to Willian and all that through offshore companies when Abramovich was chairman there, right? So any punishment, in my opinion, should consist of a transfer embargo, and it should be at least 2-3 years. This stops these clubs from delving in a trend. That's a punishment. And to me, they should be relegated as well. I'm not pushing about that. So if Matt Lawton, who's an Arsenal fan, wants to come out and say Spurs should suffer a punishment, just remember how Callum Chambers was dealt with so lightly. Because Arsenal always had strong connections with the FA, as West Ham did. I don't know if you remember when Carlos Tevez and Javier Mascherano played for West Ham. Turned out they weren't even legally signed players. Sheffield United got relegated. Oh, we can't punish West Ham because they provided free players for the World Cup winning team in 1966. And West Ham were very close to the FA with Ron Greenwood and all that. Those two clubs, Arsenal and West Ham, always had extremely close ties with the FA. And therefore, they got off light. I think that to give Sheffield United some compensation, This whole situation with financial play where they're drawn, I'm all for it. Look, if you want to punish Spurs, we break the rules, we get punished, that's fair enough. But don't try and bring it up to lessen the impact of what's going to happen. Because after what's happened to Everton, Chelsea are going to get hammered. They are going to get hammered, which shows that all their trophy wins are fake. You can always argue with Chelsea, but you had a bent owner. Abramovich, right?
Terrible dude.
Prior to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, prior to
wasn't allowed in England. Is that what you're going for? Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is Abramovich wasn't allowed to have British citizenship, right? Yeah. Now, why is that? Now, British government, they sit on a lot of dodgy characters, but normally dodgy characters that come into the country and pour millions, hundreds of millions into the economy, they're usually rewarded with a knighthood or
get a little pass.
They're not, but the government sit on them and they wait. When the time's right, if they need to move on these characters, they move. If not, they leave them. If they're getting some benefit out of them being here, they'll be two-faced. They'll leave them alone. He was refused British citizenship. Why? They knew about his offshore companies. They knew about his dealings in Russia. They knew about his bent money coming into the country, like a lot of the oligarchs that have come and bought property up in London, right? Yeah. So they sat on him. So the guy was an absolute crook. So the money going through Chelsea was bent money anyway, probably laundered money, right? All that through that season. When Jason Cundy goes on about, Chelsea being the most successful club, they've been the most successful cheats in the Premier League. The trophies are tarnished. They're fake wins. I don't want them taken away from any of these people because you can't take trophies. I don't want that League Cup win against Man City, which we lost. Right. I don't want that because that wouldn't feel right anyway. It
would be cheap and it wouldn't feel right. I agree with that.
At the same time, the football authorities know, even when Crouch was doing the part for the government on football, Lynn Crouch was her name, Sue Crouch, I forget her name now. When she was doing it for the government, she was like a government sports minister. there was threat from the government they're going to introduce. I hope they do bring in a regulator. The Premier League won't do it. All big institutions like to self-regulate because they can always sweep things under the carpet and hide things. They don't like being answerable. If ever the Premier League needed a football regulator, it is now. We need to clean this game up. It's like it's been like the Wild West out there, really. And if that means, right, that foreign owners won't buy clubs and all that, well, sod them, we don't want them. If that means they sell up, we'll sell up and go. If that means there's less money in the Premier League, that'll be a positive. We'll all benefit, because what will happen is less money means less wages for players, and it means that the transfer market will go through another period of deflation like it has after COVID. That's my rant over, guys. Right, sorry.
No, hey, no, you're good. I like it.
Can I just ask a question then to the panel, right? And I had a conversation with you on the phone today, Colin, prior to setting up the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ask the same question that I've said to you, Colin, is why has this come about? Why do you think this has come about is what I'm going to ask the panel.
Well, partly because Man City have been pissed off with Daniel Levy because he's been pushing the finals fair play for ages, because, Spurs have been disadvantaged by it. And we'd be able to compete so much better if it was a level playing field, right? That's part of the reason. Matt Lawton, Arsenal fan, right? Why does that story suddenly appear now during a winter break? Now, we know that there's the BS in the media goes into overdrive during the winter break. They got nothing else to talk about. But you can't tell me this is some sort of coincidence, Matt Lawton's article in the Times about Spurs, when Levy's the one who's been pushing for City to, taken to task over financial fair play. I mean, they were facing charge of UEFA, and I think they got off on technicalities or bought their way out of it or whatever. Yeah. But this time, I don't think it's going to lie down. The government should not let the Premier League get away with this. There's a great chance now to really clean this game up a lot better, and it will be a more even playing field. And I'm all for sustainability. No one wants to see their football club go skint like Bury did. Their fans would have been heartbroken when the club went to the wall. Whether in another league now, I don't know. But so it needs, and it doesn't need pussyfooting fines. You could fine Man City 50 million, 100 million. Wouldn't make no difference. They'd be laughing, right? Yeah. Points deductions. Again, team like Man City, you gave them a 40 points deduction, they'd still finish with 80 points. So anything above, mid 35 points, you avoid relegation anyway. So they would survive that, right? So it has to be relegation, and it has to be, look, they've done it on transfers. A transfer embargo has to be part of the punishment. And it's got to be 2 or 3 years. It can't be 1 year and then they've got their existing squad so they can get over it and all that. It's got to be a punishment that works. So I'd say at least, I've said 2 years in other podcasts, I think, but I'd say it'd have to be at least a 2 or 3 year, up to a 5-year transfer embargo. Make them then play their academy players. Go on, man. Sorry, I've ranted too long.
Am I allowed to talk? Is it okay? So
you can just.
I felt good at school. I was like, I took my hand up. Do you know what I mean?
No, you can just cut Adrian off. He doesn't care.
So what I'm saying, where do you think this has come from? Is what I'm asking the panel.
Do you know what? I think that they're trying to prove a point. I think the Premier League are trying to prove a point because they don't want an independent person coming in, like Adrian said, because if they get to have the say, it's it's fine. It's like the crazy people ruling the nut house, right? To prefer to say it, but I know it's not very politically correct way of putting it, so I apologise, but you know what I mean.
No, you're good. You're good.
But yeah, that's what it's like because they get to make the rules. So honestly, because they get to make the rules, they don't want to change that. They want to make sure that stays as it is. So the Premier League are now going, look, we're tough. Look, we're going to get people. We're going to sort things out. So I think this is all a big game of them trying to prove a point. I think that's why it's all come up. And if City get charged, they're going to get charged on the lesser stuff. They're not going to get charged with the bigger stuff. Mark my words, because their lawyers they've got Boris Johnson's lawyer. So what he's going to do, he's going to find all the loopholes. He's going to drag it out. I'm going to be like the lady from Titanic, 85 years later. That's what it's going to be like. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be in the ground before Man City get punished. And it won't be a big punishment.
Well, to add to that, to show how the Premier League act, and probably, I don't know if that including Spurs in the recent vote, They just recently voted. So if you're one of the owners of a Premier League club, and Spurs don't own any other clubs, but Man City do through the Arab states and things like that, what they've actually voted they can do is if you've spent your maximum in your financial play, say Newcastle have, right? Newcastle now to go to El Etihad or whatever they are in the Arab states, and they can get Jota on loan because they own that club, and that club will lend that player to that club for peanuts probably to get round it. I mean, that stinks. That shouldn't be allowed to happen.
The clubs all voted, and of course they didn't vote against it because most of the clubs benefit from it. So we've had a vote.
It needed. I think it was 16 votes to go through, and it was 14, and it was 13 that voted again. Yeah. There's something shady going on there, isn't there?
I'll tell you what's shady about that, Josh. It's so obvious, isn't it? Like you think one of the teams definitely got a bundle of money in it to say vote. Do you know what I mean? Vote our way.
Absolutely.
Man City are facing 115 charges, by the way. 115. And the reason you stack them up is to make sure you get them. They might take 20 of them into consideration, like if you go to court or something. But they're stacking them up. I mean, I don't see.
But some of them are for the grass being too long. So that's what I'm saying. I reckon that all the big ones are the really like the ones where you've got those emails of them bundling money to people's. They're not going to get seen. Trust me. They're not going to. That's going to be swept under the carpet. They're going to get charged for the grass being too long. That's the kind of charges they're going to get charged for.
Well, the rumours circulating that a club like Man City, through sponsors and all this, which money they haven't got to pay back, their turnover is something like 800 million. There is no way Man City can generate that sort of money, right? They're not that big a club. They're big in the sense that they've won all the best trophies there are, but they're not that big a club. They've been like some of their sponsorship through these apps. It's virtually criminal. Joe,
the reason I think they won't charge them as well is because if they get charged, then that opens up a massive can of worms. Because every single season, the team that went down and they lost to Man City can say, "Hold on, if we would have won that game, they won by cheating. We want some compensation. How about this?"
Everton. Everton being sued by Leicester as well, weren't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it opens with City, because they've won stuff as well. It opens the biggest can of worms. The same
and
as
in
Chelsea.
Europe and European clubs.
And in Europe, that's what I mean. So what happens? Like
what UEFA do after this?
It's weird. It's weird that there's no statute. I was sorry to cut in, but it's weird that there's no. So in the U.S. and I'm sure over there too, probably, but there's like a statute of limitations, and you can only be, if a crime occurred X amount of years ago, they can't bring it back up.
That's the law here, but because
this is
private, because they're a private company, there's no statute of limitation.
But I guess I'm just asking, if they're going back to 2008, how far back can they go? Like, you know what I mean? When does it end? How much are they going to dig up about every team?
It's the year that I had my first baby, so that's how far back. He's 15 this year. He's 15 this year was
exactly. So I just wonder how much further back they're going to dig. So say this happens, are they going to go back to dealings that happened in the 1970s and say that I just feel like
it'll be nothing. It'll be nothing prior to '92 because it's the Premier League.
When the Premier League was founded. Yeah,
exactly. That,
well, if just going back to Abramovich for a while, for any Chelsea fans who wants to cry innocent, I understand that we'll all defend their clubs to the hilt, even if they are guilty. A lot of fans will, right? But just consider this to fans out there. Abramovich was told basically, you either go or Chelsea is no more. That was it at the time. There was rumours that Chelsea were just going to be taken out of the league by the government, and that was it. So Abramovich leaves, right? He's pumped hundreds of millions into that club in loans, probably unsecured loans. They all said, "Oh, we give him the money." He didn't. He would have took that money. Don't worry. No one gives hundreds of millions away for nothing, right? So they're in loans, right? So, all right, invested in the club, won loads of trophies, right? But then he leaves with nothing. If Abramovich's fault he was such a good and they didn't have so much on him about his crooked ways, you would have took the UK government to court because he's from about a couple of £1 billion. So you're reading between the lines, you can see they virtually said to him, "Look, you go or it's virtually prison."
And I think he's made Oh, sorry.
So if you're going to read between the
Ah,
lines, you should
yeah.
read Spurs between the lines.
Yeah.
Boom. Love it. That was a nice little plug there. That was good. That was really good.
Then we won't take criminal action against you. Where's he gone
Yeah.
now? I think the rumor he was going to get a citizenship in Israel, but I think he's in Turkey now, Abramovich.
I'm not sure
The reason why I asked the question, right, is because I said to Colin in a private conversation and a phone call setting up the show, I said to him that, to me, there's no smoke without fire. And to me, I think that Levy is unhappy with a few of the other clubs anyway. A lot of these ownership models, especially the ones from Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. And Levy's always campaigned, I think, against them type thing. So somebody somewhere has had their cage rattled, I think, by Levy. And therefore, they've rattled somebody else's cage. And this has then come about. How they can go back 15 years, I'm not entirely sure, because I think, looking at it, there's probably a lot of goings-ons with a lot of different clubs in the last 15 years.
The clue, though, Jose, is why it won't happen. One, because what's happened to Arsenal with Callum Chambers and all that, it'll all have a knock-in effect, especially if people have got links with the FA, which Spurs haven't got, right? You know. It won't happen. One, because memories fade over that period of time. And the clue was in the FA, if no evidence comes to light. Now, that says they're not going to look for it. They're not going to look for new evidence comes to light. We will investigate if new evidence. They're not going to look. They've got enough on their plate. It's too minor anyway. Even if Spurs were found to be a bit guilty over an agent now, especially after Arsenal only got £60,000 fine over the dodgy agent who wasn't a proper registered agent. You can go and Google it. Go and Google. Anyone there, just go and Google Arsenal fine Callum. I forgot his last name there again. Callum
Tospa.
what's his name? It's gone. But
Callum Chambers, yeah.
Callum Chambers, yeah. Just Google Arsenal scandal, Callum Chambers fine in Google. Josh, if you want, or anyone in the chat, just go and Google it. And then if you Google Spurs 94-95, when Sugar went to the FA with them free loans to players, and don't get me wrong, they were dodgy loans, but we were punished for it. You know, back in the day, look, I can remember being in crowds at Spurs that said, oh, today's, when there was no seating virtually, and like, I remember today's crowd is 36,000. You knew there was like 40,000 in that crowd. At the time of the old turnstiles, the amount of cash that clubs used to siphon off without letting a taxman know, because it was all cash then, everyone did it. You know what I mean? I mean, there was lots of dodgy dealings. It was just the way.
But the other thing I was going to say is that as clubs and as fans, we want our clubs to be run the right way.
And sustainable.
Well, we want them run in the right way where you're not going to have any negativity drawn towards you and stuff like that. Now, we wear a white kit, but we're not whiter than white. And the reason why I say that is in the last 9 months, we've had the, it started off with, we had Paratici. Although he wasn't at Juventus, but he's still working for Tottenham. You had Paratici, then Joe Lewis, and now you've got Daniel Levy's name come up. So there's got to be an issue there, because in the hierarchy, 3 people at Tottenham have been accused of.
It's not Spurs related though. Paratici, the whole thing with Paratici was because of Juventus. Joe Lewis was because of the stock markets. It was nothing to do with Tottenham. Daniel Levy, yeah, I mean, you could argue, it was.
With Paratici though, Josh, what I will say, although what he got accused of and what he's been found guilty of is what happened in Juventus, people are going to tarnish the brush and say that he probably brought them same practices over to Tottenham.
And I agree, which is the argument I've got against Paratici. This is why I don't like him. But I've gone into depth about this before. We've had a debate about it. But but I agree. But again, Paratici was a bad egg, but only at Juventus. So why that brush shouldn't be tarnished? We shouldn't be covered with that brush.
The present Joe Lewis situation will not come back to haunt Spurs in any way.
To me, it's not about that though, Adrian. To me, three chaps that are associated to us in one shape or way or form, And
Yeah.
they're all in the last 9 months, all of them in
Well,
famine for
then-
wrongdoing.
But do you not
we
think though?
didn't do anything wrong by getting Paratici on board. There wasn't nothing wrong in that because the club itself hasn't done nothing wrong. You can question our morality on taking a Paratici on board, but I mean, apart from that, we've done no wrong. And with the Joe Lewis situation, that won't come back to haunt Spurs because over a year before, and you can see it in the Spurs financial report, the last one, which I looked through, and Joe Lewis set up a company with his lawyer in the Bahamas. I forget his name.
Yes,
And
I've
all Spurs interests are in his family and his daughter mainly, are on the family side. They're in a trust on that side. It's completely different. I know rival fans will bring it up and they'll try and conflate it with us when it goes to court. Well, if he's found guilty, of course. I mean, he's still innocent. You know
I'm not being funny, but there's no one that hates Joe Lewis and Daniel Levy more than the Tottenham fan base. I'm sorry. You can sit if opposing fans can give us as much amount of shit as we want. We'll just sit there, laugh it off, and go, "Yeah, we know. Why do you think we want this fraud out of our club?"
Look, who doesn't want? I mean, I wasn't a rampant Levy out or a lot of Evie and all that. But listen, even now, if Google come along, are owned by Alphabet and they're worth $1 trillion, not the QSI, Qatari Sports Investment Company. We don't know Arabs at Spurs, right? No, that could be possibly dodgy, right? Can't say all Arabs are dodgy because that'd be wrong. But, if someone like Google are worth $1 trillion come along, I'd love them to take over Spurs tomorrow and clear the debt. Or even say Elon Musk, he's got SpaceX. The stadium looks like a spaceship. Let's have Elon Musk. There are plenty of other trillionaire organisations out there that would love to take on Spurs. And why? Not because they're going to make money out of it. If you're a multi-billionaire organisation and you want to buy a football club, you are not buying it to make money. If you're buying Spurs, because for one, you're not. If you paid $4 or $5 billion for Spurs, even if you're the owner of that company and you're in your mid-40s or whatever, 50s, you're not going to live to see your return on that money. So why are you buying this football club? Well, when it's someone like Spurs, you buy it to enhance your global prestige. Yeah. And when you buy it, right, what happens is all your partners, and you'll have thousands of them, want to be part of the chain as well, right? So then you'd find that Spurs would then get a lot more sponsors through the partners of the owners that would want to be part of it. The wealth is phenomenal. I mean, that stadium has got so far to go to be monetized. It's unreal, right? It really is.
I need to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to go to Mia as well.
I've got to say one thing before I go. Do you think any of these people who own all these big companies don't do dodgy things? Do you think everybody who's these billionaires are whiter than white? If you do, I think you'll be very naive to think that they don't do everything possible that's dodgy that they can get away with to make their billions. Trust me, whoever comes in, there's going to be no moral high ground for anyone because there isn't no moral high ground when it comes to these billionaires. It doesn't matter. So for us to say about our owners, I understand it, Josh. But when you look at others, I'm telling you now, none of them are whiter than white. None of them are clean. Like none of them are obviously going to they've got their billions for not like absolutely being a really purist person. That won't happen.
Right. So Nick did get bigged up by Mia earlier. Mia's really looking forward to Sunday. And she's really grateful to Nick and to Phil P for making this happen for her. But Nick's quite right. And nice to see you, Nick, because I know that you're really busy. You're working mad hours on this lead up to Christmas. So I hope you're well. And he says, if Saudi oil money came in, and they invested billions of pounds and we won trophies, not one Spurs fan would moan about it. They would forget their morality all of a sudden.
I disagree because there's one fan in particular, and he come out before all of this Qatari money come about. Rez has turned around and said, and he said it on multiple platforms. If blood money took over Spurs, he would stop supporting Spurs.
I wouldn't want it either.
Ask him.
I wouldn't want it either.
I'm not saying that, but okay. But what I will say is, how do you think your phones are made? Do you think they're made morally? How do you think your clothes are made? Do you think they're made morally? We cannot sit here and stand on our high horses as a moral I try and be a moral person as much as I can in my daily life, right? But I'm aware that my phone's probably made by kids being trapped in places to sit there for hours and then get paid 2p. So people can't sit on their moral high horse when they've got iPhones, and trainers are made by people that are not treated well. So nobody can sit there and say they've got the truth unless you literally live off the earth and do one of those type of lives. Everybody's going to have something morally that they've done that you could say actually.
But you can say you don't want it as a fan base. You can say, well, you don't.
Oh
care.
yeah, no, you can say you don't want it. Of course, I don't want it. Listen, I don't want it, but I'm just aware that all billionaires are crooks, basically.
And I think now, when this explodes, this Chelsea Man City saga explodes, and we get an outcome of some sort. I think even now, Newcastle owners will be thinking, they've done well. They tread water before this has all come. And the fact that they're worth like 50 odd billion or whatever they're worth, they're the richest club in the world now, Newcastle, 38 billion or something like that, right? They're not going to break financial fair play. This has got to stop. And I don't want the Qatari sports investment because they're dodgy. But like you said, Mia, no one made an honest billion, did they? Let's be fair about it, about dodgy deals. So, like, you're never going to stop anywhere. But where do you start? Where do you start and say change things, or where do we as Spurs fan base turn and say, well, look,
Joe, what I would say,
we might be hypocrites trying to take some sort of moral high ground here, but we're going to be hypocrites because we don't want this for our club.
So what I would say is that as long as you abide by the rules in the Premier League, listen, the billions that we get from whoever our owners are, how they got their billions, right? We know they're probably not going to be clean. But if we abide by the rules when it comes to football, that's all I want for that's what I want for my club. I don't want us to break FFP rules. I don't want us to break and do any of this rubbish. That's what I want. Because I think that's the way you should be to run a club. That, to me, would be somewhere going towards what you surely want as a club.
And what
I think it's a good caveat into like what would happen if Man City and Chelsea end up getting sanctioned quite heavily because of the financial fair play indictments. It sets a huge precedent for every other potential owner of any other club. It's going to scare away so many investors from Saudi, from Qatar, from Bahrain, or wherever else. It's gonna put the competency checks that should be put in place when buying a football club. They're going to become more stricter. You're going to have to. They need to be able to supply, statements of where they've got their money from. Is it, moral? Is it morally earned? Is it blood money? Is it not? Where have you got these funds to buy a football club? How are you going to run the football club? How are you going to make sure you don't breach these regulations? It's going to set such a huge precedent. And it's going to start. I personally think it's going to help regulate the market again.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Josh. And I believe, right, that taking no action is worse than taking action. Imagine if nothing, after all these reports in the paper, right? All right, Chelsea have admitted their guilt. Right, we know money's been paid for offshore companies. They're going to get done. Man City haven't been proven guilt. Imagine if no action was taken against Chelsea now. What sort of message would that send through the whole Premier League fan base? Through football in general? What sort of message? I think it would be worse than not taking action. They will take action against Chelsea, though. It will happen.
If they don't take any action against Man City and Chelsea, all I'm going to say is the Super League doesn't sound like such a bad idea now, does it?
No. What will happen is that you can imagine the songs that are going to be made up, right? If no action is taken, Mia will be writing one. You imagine the songs that will be made up, right, when you're playing Chelsea at home and all that, and Man City, and they're not going to live that down, right?
Mia,
now, you can feel sorry for their fans or not, because it's the same with football, isn't it? When other clubs have faced bankruptcy for not paying their tax bills and all that, right? That's because clubs have been badly run, profligate owners, right? And us fans are at the mercy of corrupt owners, and the fans are the ones that really suffer because they love their clubs if their clubs are punished.
Yeah.
It was going to
So-
say
so-
Colin, so.
So I was going to say, Mia, you said that you got to run. You've got
I
places to be
do,
and
but I
things
got
to do.
involved. I got involved in the conversation, and then I've got obviously Lee spotting my Tigger onesie. He did very well to spot that. No one else.
That is
spotted
good.
it.
That was good eye. Good eye, Lee.
I was gonna say, did you go off camera and change your clothes and come back on?
No, I actually had it on. I had something underneath it, and I got hot, so then I put it back on because I got cold.
So guys,
okay.
I hate to change the subject and stuff, but I have to work fairly soon, and today is prediction day, and I wondered if it would be okay if we moved to this weekend's predictions.
No,
If that
it isn't okay.
Start off,
Don't mind, we're having a
Adrian.
discussion about financial fair play regulations, Colin. All right?
No, that's totally cool.
Colin,
That's totally
what do you
cool.
think this is? Your show or something? For goodness sake, what do you think you are? To be honest
Colin
with you?
tries to come in here. He tries to take over. Fuck's sake, Colin.
He goes on
Sorry.
camera for
It's-
ages and then comes back and starts demanding stuff. Honestly,
It's the American in me. It's just because us Americans we're just rude.
Yeah,
No,
typical.
That's right, mate. You just left me sitting with the crowd. Thank you.
I knew you. If anybody could keep him under control, it was you. So
I've enjoyed the conversation. I've enjoyed what they've all had to say. It's been excellent.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
well,
I'm happy
so-
listening to it.
So here's what I think. So I got to run soon, but if you guys want to continue the conversation after I leave, that's totally fine. I just didn't know if you wanted to get predictions in real quick first.
Yeah, no, I've got to get ready to do some stuff as well. So yeah, predictions have got to be done, haven't they? So
Prediction
Josh,
time.
I have all yours, so that's cool. I've
Yeah.
done mine as well.
I'll read mine out when everybody else has done theirs, so everyone knows.
All right, cool. Yeah. So let me
So
get
the
the banner up.
first game for anybody that's playing. Although what I will say is, for those that are not playing live now, you can also leave them in the comments section once this stream is finished, like other people have done in the past. Some people WhatsApp me them as well before kickoff time. Well, before the first game is played. So I do get them and I do put them in. So anyone and any way your predictions, I will put them on for you. So the first game is Man City Liverpool.
No.
So John,
I've
Ooh.
gone 2-1 because I don't necessarily think Liverpool are going to go there and not score. Yeah, pretty much that. I think that's going to be a very, very back and forth game, and I think that Liverpool will get a couple of chances and they will bag one, but Man City will just win.
right, so Colin,
gonna
have you just
have
seen
to
that?
go,
You
guys.
just,
I have to
yeah.
go.
Thank you
I
very
have to
much,
go.
Mia. Listen, if I don't get to see you, enjoy Sunday and let us know how you got on.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll
Have-
see you there, Adrian, as well.
Well, yeah, I'll probably see you with Sean after the game. It's probably.
Yeah. So after, I'll probably see you.
Awesome.
Right,
Mia,
see you later,
thanks for
Josh.
jumping on, Mia. Appreciate you.
Yeah, take care, everyone.
See you later.
Colin,
See
have you just seen the message that's come up?
No, which one?
Oh, it's now gone again. It was there from YouTube.
Oh yeah,
So
I did see
they're
that.
having
That it,
they're having trouble or something like that. So
yeah, but I went and checked on YouTube and it looks fine. So
Okay, fair
yeah,
enough.
I think they're just being. I think there's just an issue
Colin,
with
Colin and
StreamYard.
Adrian, what are your predictions? I've got Lee Smiths already.
3-2 City.
Right. Adrian.
If I remember correctly, City beat them 3-0 last year, so I'm going to go City 2, Liverpool 0.
2-0 home win. Lovely. Dry roasted peanut has gone 2-1.
Lee Smith has also gone 2-1.
Yeah, I've got Lee Smithies already.
Smithy Smith.
Right, I'll come back if people did go because yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so next we've got a lot of our usuals are not here doing it at the moment, so they'll probably send us some stuff through. Alex Hilton. Right.
Oh, steak. Says also a lot of 2-1s.
2-1 City.
I've gone 1-1 Burnley West Ham.
It's
Dry
Burnley-
roasted peanut has gone 0-2. Who are we looking at now? Oh, Burnley West Ham. I didn't
Yeah,
realise
sorry.
that.
My
So
fault.
Alexander Hilton's 2-1 City. So dry roasted peanut's gone 0-2, yeah?
So
Yeah,
2-0
so-
Liverpool. 2-0 Liverpool at Man City.
No, sorry. We're on the West Ham match now.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
he's
My
gone
fault.
0-2 for that
Yep.
one. Right, so on that, so dry roasted peanuts gone 0-2. I've gone 2-1 to Burnley, and Josh has gone 1-1.
I've
Colin.
gone 1 also, please.
I'm going 2-1 Burnley.
So same as me, 2-1 Burnley. Adrian. Colin, what did you say? Did you say
Bobby says, sorry that he's late to the party. Bobby, if you can, go ahead and get us your we're only on the second match now. So if you want to get us real quick your Man City Liverpool result and then your West Ham I've already forgot West Ham Burnley scores as well. That would be great. So Alexander Hilton says 3-0 to West Ham.
West Ham at home or away? Away, so that's 0-3.
Yeah, sorry. And then Bobby K 1-3.
Bobby K 2-1 to City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go
Yep.
Trying to catch up with Bobby's. And then Bobby's also gone 3-1 to West Ham, so that's 1-3.
Yeah.
Right, so at the moment we've got Colin, what are you going for Burnley West Ham?
Ones.
1-0.
Yep.
And Adrian's gone 2-1, I think, as well. So Lee Smithy, has he put anything 2-1 to West Ham, Lee Smithy? It's okay.
Hey, look who it is. Winter's here. What?
This is Lily.
No way. Hold on a second. How old's Winter nowadays?
Winter's 2, nearly 3.
Wow. All right. Wow. Well, hi, Lily. I'm sorry that I called you the wrong name. You look a lot like your sister.
Right, so that's Bobby Don. So I've caught up with everybody so far that's predicted. Right, Luton Palace. So I've gone 2-0 to Luton and Josh has gone 2-1 Luton. No, sorry, Josh has gone
I've gone 1-0 Palace.
1-0 to Palace, yeah.
I'm gonna go Luton 0, Palace 2.
So 0-2, okay. I love my co-host. He goes totally opposite to me. Brilliant. Adrian?
3-1 Luton.
3-1 to Luton.
I think Luton have got goals in. I do as well. I think their strike force. When we played Luton, they were the quickest front three we've played against.
I
Their
think
three forwards were
in
rapid.
number 9, they've got to be a handful for anyone, even for Guehi and the Dane
Anderson.
Hilton, Dry Roast
Palace.
Peanut.
Hold on. So
Both
Bobby
say-
K's gone 1-0 to Palace. Yeah, so it's 0-1. Dry
No,
Roast has gone 1-0.
Yep, and same with Hilton. Mr. Alexander Hilton.
1-0.
And then we've got
I think
Mr.
I've caught up.
Lee. Yep, awesome. So let's go ahead and we can go ahead and get the
on, let me
next
just
one.
make sure.
going.
So I've got Lee Smith. He's had 1-0, didn't he? So I've got him.
He did. Okay, so now we've got Newcastle versus Chelsea.
So for that, I've
2-1 Newcastle.
He's gone 2-1 Newcastle for Josh. I've gone 1-1.
I'm gonna do a Desmond here.
2-2 for you.
Yes, sir.
Desmond Tutu, like that.
I stole it from somebody. I didn't make it up. I'm not that cool, but
Right, so Adrian. God, you've got lots of 2-2s coming in. Look, Adrian's got 2-2 as well. Bobby's gone 2-2.
yeah, he has. And same as
Lee Smith 2-2.
yep. And then
Alex gone 2-0 Newcastle.
nice. That's a solid guess there. If you're right on that one, you're definitely gonna,
And
you're
then
gonna
I'm
climb ahead.
just missing, if I haven't seen it, Dry Roasted Peanut. There we go, 1-2 Chelsea.
Boom. Dry roast peanut. He asked too if that's Hugh Hefner sitting there in the bottom right hand corner. It might be, and we got him on the show.
For
no.
those that are currently
No, that's
playing,
Adrian.
there's 11 people here. Ain't no one else playing this game. Bloody hell. Right.
Right.
okay.
Leave it in the comments if you're not getting it in now. Definitely
Right,
make sure that
so
you get those in the comments.
The next game we've got is Forest Brighton. Josh has gone 1-3.
3-1. Yeah, 3-1 Brighton.
1-3. I've gone 2-1 Forest. Although I've just realised Al Wimney's now out for about 3 months now. So, but I'm still going to keep it 2-1.
I'm gonna flip I'm gonna go 1-2.
Okay.
The reason I've said Brighton is because if there's a team to put an end to a run, it's going to be Brighton, isn't it? It's just one of them teams you don't expect to do it.
Yeah.
I'm
I can see
going
it.
2-0 Forest.
Wow. Sweet.
Who can I see there? Smith going 1-2. So is that 1-2 in it? 1-2.
Yep.
3-2 Brighton from Bobby. So that's 2-3. And have I got anyone missing? Anyone? I'm missing dry roasted Desmond 2-2.
Desmond. Okay. Yep. Yep.
And the Brian Daigle this morning said to me, just put me down for 2-2 for Desmond for every. If I don't come back to you, so if he doesn't come back to me before the games kick off tomorrow, I'm to put him down for Desmond for every game.
What if he comes out ahead this weekend because of that? That would be very funny.
What's the point?
FC
Right. What's the point? Do you want to partake? If you do, then I'll give you all the fixtures again.
Yeah. What's the point? Looks like he's into it.
But he's only given me one result. So
Yeah.
okay, let me just go back quickly because he's the only one.
Yeah.
Right, what's the point?
Big up. What's the point? Good to have you here, my guy. We're getting ready to wrap up, unfortunately, but it's really nice to have you. We're back.
Right, this is all changed now. Let's just write through. So I don't want that. Superscript. I don't want. They've updated everything on my laptop today, and I haven't got.
Don't you hate that? I hate it when that happens. You're like, I liked it before. It was better before.
Okay, right. So, what's the point? Right, what's the point is, first of all, I need your score for Man City, Liverpool.
Yep. What's the point? Get that in. That's going to be a fun match. That's going to be a pretty good clash, I think. I think it'll be closer than a lot of other people seem to be thinking. But we'll have to see. And what's the point? If you're, are you getting him in? Is he getting him in now? I can't see the comments. Oh, yep. He says, go on then.
3-1, 3-1. So it's one. So is he gone 3-1 home win?
For the Brighton game?
No. Yeah, 3-3 for the first game.
Yep.
And then for the Brighton game, he's gone Brighton 1. So Forest 3, Brighton 1.
Yeah. That is correct.
So the next game that we're after, the next game I need is
from what's the point?
From what's the point is I need Burnley, West Ham United. So what's the point? It's Burnley, West Ham United.
You're not at home, are you, Colin?
No, I'm at my mom's.
Was you there for Thanksgiving?
Yeah. And then I figured I'll just work from here since I didn't want to drive home too lazy.
So he's gone for West Ham 2, Burnley 2. Right, Luton Palace, please. What's the point?
Let me get that back up so he sees.
So that roast turkey, that candy jams.
Oh yeah, I ate good yesterday. Be making me a lunch here in a second. Some leftovers, get it again today. But yeah.
Luton Palace, what's the point? Okay, so I've got that one. And the one after that is Newcastle Chelsea.
Boom.
And then after that, we're up to
Then we'll be current.
Yeah, and I've already plugged in some of the results that people have given me for Sheffield United already early. So
nice. Let's go ahead and get that pulled up here.
Newcastle at home. So it's Newcastle Chelsea.
Oh, sorry. Didn't know you didn't give me that one yet. Newcastle v Chelsea, my guy.
Chelsea 3, Newcastle 1. So it's the other way around. So it's 1-3. Okay.
Sweet. All righty.
And now we're up to date. We're on Sheffield United, Bournemouth.
Okay.
Josh.
1-0 Bournemouth.
0-1 for Josh. I've gone for. Sorry, Sheffield United, Bournemouth. Yeah, I've gone for 2-2. I've gone for the Desmond. What are you going for, Colin?
2-1.
2-1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
2-1. Right. Dry roasted has gone 0-0. I'm missing Adrian.
1-0 Sheffield United.
Is that home win? Yeah, home win. And then what's the point?
What's the point?
2-1 Bournemouth.
1-2. Right. So just to clarify, because Lee Smithy Smith, you said Desmond, right? But further up, you're saying 2-1 Sheffield. So I've put you down as 2-1 Sheffield. Do you want the 2-1 Sheffield, or are you going for the Desmond?
Let us know, man. Let us know. We got a fun.
You give me two separate results there.
He's trying to get them both in. I like your thinking. I like your thinking there, but
well, I'd already put in 2-1, but then I can see he's written down Desmond.
He might have, and he could be ahead of us. He could be ready for the next one. So,
but it's Sheffield United because look, Bobby K. Desmond is the Newcastle game.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I had you for Newcastle already. Okay, so the next game is Brentford Arsenal.
2-0 Brentford. 2-0 Brentford.
I've gone 3-1 Brentford.
I'm going ones.
1-0.
Arsenal always struggle against Brentford, and
they do,
with them,
but they don't have.
And with them also not having David Raya available because he can't play against Brentford, they're left with Aaron Ramsdale, who's got a lot of mistakes left.
Yeah, I forgot that was a loan. That's bizarre.
Do you want to, It's up to you. You want to change your result, Colin? Adrian, what are you going for, mate?
2-1 Brentford.
I want to keep my 1-all.
2-1 Brentford. Lee Smithy Smith, 2-1 Brentford. I think there might be a bit of Arsenal hate today. 2-1. 3-1. Oh, 3-1 Arsenal. Ouch. So he's got 1-3. Okay, so there's not hate there. So you've got Bobby K going 1-3.
All right, Bobby. You got to be logical and think with your head, not your heart on these for
Alexandra
sure.
Hilton and what's the point? They've both gone 2-1 to Brentford, yeah?
Looks like it, yes, sir.
And that is dry roasted peanut, 1-0.
Boom.
Right.
All righty.
The big game on Sunday.
Spurs versus Villa.
See, right. So there's philosophy beyond my prediction, and it's always because if I predict that Tottenham are going to win, we fucking lose. So I've predicted Aston Villa are going to win 2-1. Hopefully, there's
that was going to be my score. You son of a bitch. That was going to be what I said. Now it's like I'm copying.
I've gone Tottenham to win 3-0.
Wow, sweet. I'm going to say Spurs 1, Villa 2. 1-2.
So I get extra points if I predict how the game's going to go. Spurs are going to win 2-0. Villa are going to get a sent off, and Spurs are going to get their first penalty of the season, which Son is going to bury.
2-0.
Sweet.
Dry roasted peanut. Let me go back now. So dry roasted. We're winning 2-1. Lee Smith. So I'll go to Lee Smith. It's 2-1.
That's worth a fiver, isn't it? That's worth whacking a fiver on, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Bobby K, like it.
I'll have some bets. I've got money in my Sky Bet account. I'll have a bet on the game anyway. I'll probably do it after this.
What's the point? It's gone 3-1 to Villa.
Wow. Smash. Wow. Yikes.
It's that reverse psychology. He wants Spurs to win, but he knows if he predicts for Spurs to win, they're going to lose.
Probably so. I think there's a bit of that going on. Yeah.
You find with a lot of Spurs fans' prediction, the nervous fans always predict a 2 clear goal winning margin for Spurs. They always give you a 2 clear goal winning margin, you know.
Yeah.
Right, so dry roasted has gone 2-1. Okay. Dry roasted peanut 2-1. Lee Smith 2-1. Right, so I've got everybody. Right.
Perfect. So now
the next game is Everton Man United. We got reverse results between me and Josh. Josh?
I've gone 2-0 Man United.
So Josh has gone 0-2. I've gone 2-0 to Everton.
Wow.
Everton are a bit of a buck to Man United. I'm going to go 2-1 Everton.
I'm going to go 1-all again.
Do you know
I think Everton
a lot of money for draws?
You know,
draws pay the most money, don't they?
I don't know, do they?
Yeah, when you get draws, the odds on the draw, you pay more than the home win and the away win. If you get
because you're counting on both teams to score or not score at all.
Right. Yeah. So, Colin, if you go for a lot of the results you're going, well, you've got quite a
Mind
few draws in there.
Have you taken into consideration that Everton's morale might be affected by the 10-point deduction?
It's not even just that. I think Everton are going to come out all guns blazing. They're going to try too hard as opposed to just trying hard.
Yeah.
And then Man United are going to see that flaw in that system and they're going to bury a couple of goals.
Can I just say it's just come through that Mason Mount is out injured long term. It's only just come through about 30 seconds.
I don't think they care.
No, I'm just saying.
Dang,
Dry
I
Rest
didn't know
have
about that.
gone 2-1, but is that to who? Who's a 2-1 to?
I think
I know.
to Everton. Looks like if he's got it in the correct order, that it's Everton 2, United 1.
Okay, so
Dry
that's
roast.
dry roasted. So I'm missing what's the point?
Yep.
I've got everyone else. It's just what's the point I'm missing?
Well, he can get it in. Come on, what's the point? Where you at, brother? Yes, Meta Football TV, you are late, but we'll get you caught up in a moment.
Yeah, you can, 2-2.
2-2, sweet. Okay, and then we're getting close to the end, which is great because
Right, the last result, Chris, we'll come back. I'll come back to the start as soon as we've done this last result. Right. So, we've got Fulham versus Wolves.
It's my first one. It's a Desmond.
He's got rid of Desmond. I've gone for a 2-1 home win to Fulham.
I'm going 2-1 home win Fulham.
I'm gonna flip it. 1-2.
Colin, are you just going opposite to every result I've gone for?
Not on purpose. Not on purpose.
Right. So Fulham Wolves. To the people in the chat, apart from Chris, we'll come back to you. Okay, yeah, Chris, send it to me and I'll plug you in, mate. Don't worry. There's no worries.
Appreciate you, Chris. You're a good dude.
So we've got Desmond from Lee Smith. Fulham 1, Wolves 2 from Bobby K.
Yep. And then Gyrus Peanut
1-3. Woo! I don't think Wolves are winning against Fulham, man, but there you go. 1-0. Another draw. What's the point? And then we got Alexander Hilton, and that'll finish me off for now.
Alexander Hilton. Nil.
That
might be the first 0-0 of the day. Yeah.
Let me have a look. It is the first 0. Yeah, it's the first 0-0 prediction we've had.
Nice. You might that might be a good one, Alex.
Do you know what? Well, we've done that. Chris, do you want to do yours? If you do, I can tell you who the teams are, mate. If you want. So the first game is Man City Liverpool. Seeing that you're the only one I'm waiting on.
We've got some music playing since we're about to end.
Bring the banner up and Cole for the...
Sure thing. Yep. 1 second here. And then I got to get my computer set up for work in just a second. So we'll do it real quick, and then I will run. I got to work in 30 minutes. So City versus Liverpool was number 1.
If he's still here, if he doesn't respond within a minute, then I reckon he's gone.
He might have popped in and backed out. Yeah.
I reckon he would have gone.
All right, Chris, my man. He's a busy man as well. He might be, deep in something. Yeah. So
there's 10 people watching now. Does that mean we've caught everybody?
It does. I believe so. And What's the Point says later is, hey, hope to see you soon. What's the Point? We'll get you on a longer show. We're just kind of easing back in as Jose and I both kind of taking a break. So we wanted to get everybody's predictions in today for the Prediction League, and then we'll be back to doing a more regular thing very soon. But yeah, thanks for jumping in. What's the Point?
So the results for these predictions won't be announced. Well, the full table and that won't be announced till Tuesday. But if we were to stream tomorrow, we'll give an update. And if we were to stream Sunday, we'll update again and Monday. But the final table will come out on Tuesday.
Perfect.
Do you need to know what the current table looks like at the moment? Do you want to know where you are, Josh?
I'm fifth from bottom.
You're not. You're third from bottom now.
Oh, am I? Okay.
It's more. You haven't played, but more people joined. But there's a lot of people who played 1 week, so therefore you have got like equal points to other people that started, type thing. Adrian, you only did 2 weeks, I think. think you did 2 weeks. You're 21st. No, you only did 1 week, Adrian. You only done 1 week. You're 21st. But it can easily be caught up. But the leader is Chris Peters, and Chris has not even done it today. So
Someone's got to hold the table up.
Chris Peters will get his in. Don't worry. I'll message Chris afterwards. But yeah, guys.
Spurs is 3rd, and he hasn't done his. But these people tend to send them through, don't they?
They do.
So
and everybody, just remember, you can really make up a lot of points in 1 week. So if you've missed, don't feel like you can't play. There's definitely time to get back to the game.
The last week's fixtures that we had before the international break, Chris Peters got 4 absolute on the money predictions, correct results for 4 of the games, and he shot up the league. He got so many points in the last week.
Yeah, he did.
Mental.
Absolutely.
You get the pick 6 right, and he's betting things, and you can win.
He had a couple. So it says 10 games in there. So he had 2 absolute corrects, and 4 absolute corrects and 2 correct scores, two correct winning teams, but not the correct score. So yeah, 4 out of 10 is not bad to get correct results. So
no, not at all. That's actually kind of remarkable.
Dry roasted peanut, you're currently 6th, mate. So yeah, you're currently in a European position, mate.
Boom, nice work.
Oh yeah, I'll save these and then add to them as people come to me, as long as it's before
kick off tomorrow. Yes, absolutely. And everybody who's watching and who has watched, thanks for tuning in. It's been a bit of a like, we're getting back in our groove. You know, we're getting back in the groove of things. So thank you everybody for joining. I really do have to run. I have to set up work junk because I'm not at my house. So I have to get everything all ready. But just wanted to say thanks to Josh and to Adrian. Josh, real quick, you doing anything on your channel lately?
No. Simply put, no.
Well, once you start doing more, we'll plug the hell out of it.
I'm more over on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll change my Twitter handle.
Yeah, let me
play up.
Have I got you added, Josh? Have you got me added?
I've just followed you on Twitter now.
All right, well, I'll follow you back then if I'll come back.
I've got Twitter. It's Eltel Cockerell. I'm on Twitter.
Yeah. And what did you say yours was, Josh?
It's Play Up Pav with 2 V's at the end.
Play Up Pav. Like that?
With 2 V's.
Yep, bang on.
Boom. So go. Everybody there, make sure you follow Josh on Twitter. Adrian, I don't know if I have your Facebook link handy because I'm terrible at my job.
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
Oh, nice.
Pass my Twitter handle.
Perfect. Well, everybody, make sure that you follow Adrian on Twitter. You get on the YouTube, the Facebook page. I'm really losing my mind. But yeah, everybody, it's been great getting back into this. Welcome back to Talking Ball, and thanks for having us, and thanks for watching. Truly appreciate everybody joining in. I don't know, before we bounce and leave everybody with the James Madison song one more time, is there anything anybody wants to say before we head out? Any last words, anybody?
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Yes.
Come on, you Spurs.
All right, and everybody, we will see you next time. Make sure you hit that notification bell after you subscribe to both channels. That way you'll know when we're coming on next, because the weekends are kind of hit and miss. We don't really know for sure. So yeah, everybody, make sure you've hit that noti bell, and we will see you next time. In the meantime, I'll leave you with the best song ever.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.